Hey guys, it's Ryan. I wanted to come talk to you guys about some things, and those of you who have watched my channel for a long time, know that I don't do these videos a whole lot. Only if I have some things on my mind, and that's one reason I have this channel actually, is to give me a little outlet to discuss things, and talk about some of the things that are on my mind relative to this subject. I haven't uploaded anything in a while, and it's not from lack of going out and finding things and recording things and all that, but there's some videos that I've made that I have been sitting on for a little while, a few weeks or a month or so, and I've been doing that because they show some things that I'm not ready to show people, and I would probably come under a whole lot of scrutiny for it, and I'm not worried about that. Popularity was never, ever, ever my intention when I started doing this. Yeah, I know I've said it before, but I didn't start this channel to convince people of their existence. I didn't start this channel to be popular or well known or anything like that. I never dreamed I'd have 2,000 people, over 2,000 people that watch me enough to subscribe. I never thought that would happen, ever. I mean, I thought I'd be doing good to get like 20 or 30, but I wanted to show things and learn things, and that's why I began my channel. I started it because I was finding things out here. I was finding these weird stick placements, and they were occurring way too much to be coincidental. And I wanted to learn about them, and I never knew anything about a stick structure or anything like that relative to the Sasquatch. I never thought that they did anything like that until I began watching videos and on YouTube, and seeing the things that other people had found, and then I started researching it, looking it up and reading about it and all that stuff, and I learned that that's actually something that's pretty characteristic for the Sasquatch. The thing is, I never saw any videos where people had explained them. Okay, there were all kinds of speculations and theories and stuff like that about them, but I never saw anything where people had explained them. And that's what I kind of wanted to figure out, is what all these things meant. Now, I've been afforded a great opportunity with this just because I have the convenience to see these things all the time. I can see where they are, where they're made, how different ones show up in different places, and I know this property extremely well. I can see everything that's out of place on most of the land, and I can see all this stuff that has gotten moved and has been created, and new stuff comes up, and I've been able to see all that. And since I've been able to do that, I've been able to establish and determine patterns for this stuff. Now, there are some things that I show that occur all over the world, and it's like a universal language for them. But I'm not going to get into a whole lot of that because I want to save that for another time because it would take a while to talk about all of it. But I have established the patterns that they come in, or that they appear in, and I've learned, I don't want to say I've learned because that's a definitive term. I've gotten a very good idea to base my speculation on. I'll put it that way, of what all this stuff means. And, you know, I haven't talked to them yet. But, well, I have, but I haven't had a chance to sit down with them and ask them about all this stuff. And that's the only way we're ever going to know for sure. That brings me to another point, though. I've been interacting with the Sasquatch recently. Like I speak to them, and I will get a response. Not a verbal response like words, but I will get a vocalized response. It's really interesting, and it really freaked me out for a little bit. But this all started after I found this. That's the X that I found. That I found it right after my new baby was born. And, you know, I've shown you guys before, but there's no way it fell through that. I mean, this is the top of the tree right here. There's no way that fell down there. There's no way. It just didn't happen. I mean, look at all that stuff around it. Okay. That was put there. And it was put there for a reason. And I'm pretty sure I know of the reason it was put there. And I want to talk about why it was put there. Okay. The Sasquatch know me. They know me. They've seen me multiple times, and I go out there for hours on end, you know, and look around. And, you know, these channels sometimes kind of create a misconception because, you know, it seems like, well, maybe I only go out there for 20 minutes and, you know, show you guys all this stuff and then go home. That's not it. I go out there for a lot longer than that. And that's, you know, the time that I make these videos is just how long it takes me to show you guys what I found. What's interesting is it seems like they've opened up to me a little bit. Well, I know they have, but I've been getting a lot more interaction with them lately. I went up to one of the spots where I saw one of them not too long ago. Dogs making noise. And I noticed that while I was up there, there were a lot of things falling out of trees. Okay, like pine cones, and I guess it was just pine cones. But there was no wind to speak of, and I don't know how so many of them would have been falling. And so finally I just sat down on the ground. It was on a little sloped incline, you know, and woods all around me. And I sat down there, and I saw one flying through the trees, like not falling straight down, but flying like someone threw it. And I thought, wow, okay, something's out here with me for sure. So I picked up one and I threw it back. And about 10 seconds later, another one comes sailing over. And I'm like, okay. So I played catch, more or less, with a Sasquatch for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I actually ended it myself, I got up and told them I needed to go and said goodbye and all that. And ever since then, man, things have really started happening. And it's really, really thrown me for a loop. I can say that, because there's all kinds of stuff that's gone on that I'm not ready to talk about. But I'll tell you this, okay? I have a friend of mine who does this stuff and has a lot longer than I have. And I know some of you guys know who he is and have watched his channel, and a lot of people, you know, are extremely skeptical about what he's done. But I can tell you this, it's right along the lines of what I'm experiencing. It's really weird how this is happening, because he's all the way up in Canada, and I know everyone knows who he is. Probably it's Mike Patterson from Sasquatch Ontario channel. A lot of the things that he reported has started happening to me, and you know, I talk to Mike about these things sometimes, and just hearing what he says about them, and then me being able to completely relate to it has really, it's helped me a lot, for one thing. And it's really gotten me thinking about things differently, because a lot of this stuff that goes on is not normal for people to understand. It's not something that's comprehensible to a lot of people, because it really deviates from what everyone thinks, you know. And that's why I'm not really gonna start delving into that on this channel right now. Because I want to focus on things like, I never did this to prove existence, because the only way that it's truly proven to anyone is if you see them yourself. And if you have questions about it, you know, if you're unsure and all that, I do encourage you to go out and see what you can find. However, there are a lot of people doing that right now. A lot. And, you know, it's caused me to start asking why. Okay, why is everyone going out and recording this stuff? Okay, I understand that it's cool, it's neat, and, you know, you get psyched on it. Like when you first start finding it, you're like, oh wow, this is the stuff that I've seen in videos and stuff like that. And that's the way it is, and it's really neat. But why are you doing it? Why are you putting it up on YouTube? Why are you showing everybody? Okay, I understand that you want to share it and all that, and that's all fine and good. But the thing is, what are you trying to accomplish? With my channel, I've always tried to figure this stuff out. All right, I wanted to collaborate with people and network with people who knew about it. That's why I began doing this. That is the very reason. It was never popularity or anything like that. You know, it was always about learning. Okay? I've never monetized my channel. When you watch Frosted Forest Sasquatch, you don't see ads unless they put them there without me knowing, or whatever. You know, just generalized ads, I guess. But I don't have ad revenue. I don't get money for this. I don't get paid for any of it. I do this because I want to learn, and because I want to help those who know understand this stuff. But I want to know what proving their existence would do. Okay? What would that do? Why would we want to go and prove their existence? I don't want to. I don't want to be the one that proves they're real. You know, I want people to see it for themselves, but I don't want to be the one that shows them. You know, if that makes any sense. I want to be the person who helps us understand why they build these structures and what these structures mean, and how can we understand them better. The thing that really gets me is I have a feeling that all these people that are doing this now don't want to understand. That's not their motive. They don't have an interest in it like an academic interest, like I do. They just want to show something. And it's more than that. And it's keeping this type of investigation at a primitive level. Okay? It's not going to progress unless people begin to ask themselves questions about it. Okay, why are these structures here? What do they mean? They're not just pointless. They have meaning. Okay? But it's hard to distinguish what they mean. I don't know. Everything's just gotten a little crazy. There's so many channels now. So many channels. When I first started this last June 2015 is when I started my channel, over a year ago. Okay. I could probably count on 2 hands, or 2.5 hands, the amount of Sasquatch research channels on YouTube. Okay, there weren't that many, you know. There really weren't that many. There were, you know, a select few who did this, and people watched it, and, you know, all that. And now, man, there are so many channels. It's like I see a new one all the time. And I'm wondering why everyone is doing it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but I'm not saying it's a real good thing either. Because on all these channels, I don't see anyone who's trying to establish a relationship with them. I don't see that anywhere. Okay? I don't see people going in there and showing them respect. I don't see people going in there and talking to them and you know, doing the things that they need to do to actually gain an understanding of them. And that is what people need to be doing. Okay? That's why I had an X built in my backyard like this. That's why I was able to sit down in the woods and throw pine cones back and forth with a Sasquatch. Okay? That's why. Because I go out there and I show them respect, and I show them that I'm the kind of person that they can trust. I'm not there to just commercialize or capitalize on them. I'm not there for anything like that. My intentions are to learn and to know them. Those are my intentions. And that's what a lot of people need to be doing. Okay? They need to be out there, keeping their presence up, talking to them, interacting with them as much as they can, or trying to establish interaction with them. Because right now, there's a lot of people just going out and hunting them. And that is not what they want. I wish I could just stress that more and more. That is not what they want. They don't want you out there hunting them. And I'm not talking about hunting them with guns. I'm talking about going out there and just treating them like a spectacle. Okay? It's not what they are. They're much more. They are much more than that. And I wish that I could just let everybody who is a firm believer and a knower, I wish I could I could get everyone to understand that. There's things that I could tell you that just are crazy. They're absolutely crazy. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. And that's why I'm not going to tell you. You know? And some of you guys have been so cool. You know, you've helped me so much and you support me so much with all this. And I appreciate that. I mean, beyond words. I mean, you guys have no idea. I wouldn't have gotten this far doing this if it weren't for you guys who support me and encourage me and all that. Because this is not something that's just a fun little hobby. You know, this is something that starts to consume you. And when it does, you start realizing things. You start realizing that this is a little bit more serious than you might have thought. This is a little more important than what you think. It's not the little game that you start out with. It becomes a lot more when you really put in the effort. Okay? I don't even know if any of this has made sense, but I've been working long nights, really long nights, like 12, 15-hour nights, and I've had one off day in the last 11 days. So anyway, I'm doing the best I can, but I really want people to know that this is not a game. This is serious. This is real life. Okay? And I think that a lot of these people with these new channels and stuff, they need to assess what they're really doing. What are your intentions? Okay, you just want to go around showing structures and stuff. That's fine, but start trying to figure them out. Start trying to learn about them. Establish the patterns. Look at the variations. Okay, they're all over the place. Look at what they mean. Speculate. Try to understand. But more importantly, show respect to the Sasquatch. They deserve it, for one thing. Okay? And it's not because of what they are. It's just because they are living things, and we need to respect all living things in general. But it's the same thing like with a snake. Alright, you see like a rattlesnake or a copperhead, something like that. Respect its area. Respect where it is. Don't go trampling around all over the place right around it, because that's going to get you hurt. That's going to get you messed up. You need to respect these things. Okay? I can't stress that enough. When you show respect, they will show respect. Okay? They'll show respect. And if you keep at it, they'll eventually open up to you. Because that's the point I'm at now. And I know other people have been to that point too, and they will tell you the same thing. The exact same thing. Just like my friend Mike, he will tell you the same thing. because he knows, just like I know, and that's what's right, okay? That's what's right. These beings are not a spectacle. They're not a showcase. They're not a sideshow. These beings are more than we think. That's all I'm going to say about it. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching and listening to this rant of mine. But, you know, everyone knows that I'm not in this to make money. I'm not in this for any reason other than to help us all learn. And I've learned more than I ever thought I would. And I've experienced more than I ever thought I would. There's so many things that have happened now that have molded my idea and given me this perspective of what they actually are. And if you go out and put in the time and make the effort and show them the respect that they deserve, eventually you will see exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, if you go around just trampling through their shelters and their areas and messing up their structures, you know, they're not going to show you any respect. They're not going to let you see them. And quite frankly, you're probably going to piss them off. Okay? That's not the way to go about it. Everyone needs to respect these beings. If you're going to go out there in their homes, they need respect. That's all I'm going to say about it. Thanks for watching.